Contractor nightmares. Let's talk about all the things that we've seen happen. Craziness with these contractors.
Can we even do that?
Oh my gosh. It is like there's always something, right?
There's
like,
always something.
And you have to laugh to keep from crying, basically, like when things happen.
You're listening to the House Guy and Home Girl podcast, a podcast about real estate and real life. As realtors, home builders, and real estate investors, John and Kim keep it real. Former teachers turned real estate professionals, they have a heart for helping others. Join them each week as they discuss all things home. And now, here's your hosts, John and Kim.
Hey, do you enjoy this kind of content? If you do, please don't forget to subscribe down below. Give us a share, give us a like, hit that notification bell, whatever it is that you can do to help us grow our channel and help us bring you the most relevant and up-to-date information about home building and real estate each week.
You know, I tell my friends sometimes, real estate and home building are not that different than teaching, y'all, and being a school counselor.
That's right. Yeah.
Like there's so much that we have to like filter through daily. Like, oh, is that real? Is that not? Do they need?
Somebody's in a fight.
Somebody's in a fight.
Somebody brought something they weren't supposed to bring.
Do we need to counsel them?
Where'd they go? We're hunting them down. Where's he at?
Right. Yes.
He's skipping school.
Yes. I mean, all the things. Like, it's not that different.
All they are is high school kids that have grown up, right? That's what they are.
That's
what
everybody.
Yeah,
everybody.
But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like in other words,
society is high
they're
school
just
children.
The public like everything else.
Right.
So.
And then we still, with our background in teaching, like we still have the need of like, oh, can we help you? Can we do this? And so sometimes in the beginning, I think that that kind of bit us in the butt in the beginning because we did have a big heart, and then it was like, okay, we are getting, I think, we're getting
taken advantage of.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. So.
Because we would find out that same person that didn't show up at our job site is down the road finishing another house for somebody else.
Not sick.
Not
broke down car. Not all these other crazy excuses and stories that we're going to tell.
So just dive in as far as like excuses that you hear. They can't come to work because
my van quit working. Mm-hmm. My grandma died again. Same grandma literally, if you work with these guys for multiple years, it's like, how many grandmas you got? How many cousins you got?
I don't know if y'all were prepared for this.
My dad's in the hospital again. Like, I thought your dad died last year.
I know. I don't mean
what
to
a miracle.
Laugh, y'all.
What a miracle that your dad is in the hospital.
Right.
Because I would have sworn he was in the ground.
Right.
Dead.
Oh, yeah. Him.
So,
it was my wife's dad.
That's right. Oh, yeah. No. That was right. It's always something
it's
like
always,
that. Right?
And then you go down to like, my grandson I had to take him to the hospital. Huh?
Because his mom was crazy and I had to go pick him up.
And then it's like, well, I know their mama. I know that mama and she's not crazy. Like if you really investigate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know some of the stories. Like,
hey man, I can't make it tomorrow because I have court.
Yeah.
I've got to go to court.
Yeah, that's a really big one. Mm-hmm. Court, and then from court, sometimes people go to jail.
Or before they go to court, they go to jail. And either way, you're not at work. Right. They're not there doing the job because
right. And then that's a real thing because if you pull out jail, like, so here's how our business works. We don't have employees per se.
Yeah, they're subcontractors.
And so, or they're their own business. We'll hire a particular business to do something, to do a job for us. And for the most part, we've got a list of contractors that we use that pretty much work with us all the time. Mm-hmm. That, over the years we have filtered out some of these excuses. Yeah, we've taken some of this
and gotten rid of it. Yeah.
Now, let me just say, we have some contractors that have been with us that are great, reliable people.
Sure.
That just have it together like any other person in the world, have it together, do a great job, show up. But then there are some that
ring your phone and it says, you are receiving a call from an inmate at Franklin County Detention Center. Mm-hmm. Please state your name.
Okay, that's a little...
Do you accept this call? I've had more than one call like that.
And
you're the call from jail. And it's like, why are you...
Well, I don't want to be
am not coming to get you, first of all. Number two, thanks for the dedication to at least use your one phone call to say, I'm not going to make it today.
Right.
Right. But you don't have to worry about coming back. We can be done.
Oh, I didn't think about that one call. Yeah.
You get one call, and you're going to call John Wright and
if
say,
you've messed up
hey,
and you're not my family member, and some of my family members, I might have to be like,
if you go to jail, period,
don't
call me.
Yeah, don't call me.
That's all right.
Because you're there for a reason.
I refuse to bail anybody out, including the homegirl here. If you go to jail, it's probably going to be for something you did to me.
Same then.
Anyway.
Same.
Yeah. Not bailing you out.
Bailing you out.
You can stay there.
But now, like we say all that to say, like there are some, a lot of contractors that we do use that have it together. But just talking through.
And we're making light of this. I don't want to
right.
make light of anybody's serious issue or whatever, but it's kind of crazy when you see some of the things you deal with.
People don't like to come to work, okay?
Yeah.
And
I'm not sure I understand either, but they don't want to come to work. Right. They're just looking for a way to, number one, either not come and see us and not do their job, or go start another job somewhere.
Right.
Because they got us on the hook already. They're halfway done. Then they go start another job somewhere else, because then they're like, well, we can get 2 paychecks out of this week instead of 1.
Yeah. And I'm thinking of a company right now that they're notorious for doing that. And, that's not against the law or anything, but man, that really irritates me for you to start my job and to get like a quarter done.
Ask for a check.
And ask for a check and then
Can
not
I get a
show
draw?
up.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my next point on contractors and things that we've had in the past to go kind of, crazy. Contractors in general, like for whatever reason, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, a lot of times they're not going to get after it and work.
That's right.
Thursday, boy, somebody's going to be on that job site.
That's right.
I can roll down there right now to my job site, and I guarantee.
Oh, Friday for sure.
Yes.
Right. Miracles happen on Friday. Not just dads that come back to life and go to the hospital, but miracles happen on the job site. We got to get this finished.
Right.
And that's where quality control comes in, right? Because I don't care how fast you get it done. We're going to make sure it's done right. You're not getting a check till it's done right.
Right. And I think we had talked about that on one of the shows. Like,
avoiding contractor nightmares. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like I do write the checks, and so a lot of times, John's down there looking at things where I can't be down there, and he's like, well, I'm not, I don't have the checks, and so he can't write them until I check it too. And because, they know it's not right, and they're, oh yeah, I missed that. I didn't see that. But generally people try to make it right. But
recently you were down there though, and we had an issue with the delivery. Some funny issues with the delivery that we had for the.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's a whole other set of nightmares, right? So the delivery guys pulled up.
Yep. Not our employees, not, they were delivering, and oh my word, y'all, these delivery people, not going to say where they were from. These delivery people, they were so lazy that it had rained, and regardless, like they were supposed to get this delivery out. It was over a week ago that
they were already a week behind.
Materials were supposed to be delivered to the job site, and they call us like the week before during church, and we're not going to answer during church.
Mm-hmm.
And so, anyways, lost our delivery. Finally pinned it down, and then they decide to deliver on like one of the rainiest days that we've had in a while.
Which we haven't had much rain, but
in the last month. Anyway, so these people get there, and I'm just kind of like, driving by, checking the job site out, and they're trying to deliver. And so I get out, and I'm like, oh, hey, you're delivering my tile or whatever. And they're like, yeah, we're not going to be able to do this. And I was like, and I needed the materials because a contractor needed to get started the next day. And they made up all these excuses like, I might slip and fall with these.
Not a huge delivery, by the way. 16 boxes.
16 boxes of tile. And mind you, this was for the shower floor, and we had already bought shiny tile that John had delivered and brought into the home. And so you had already like
same amount
pretty much, like just you.
Like the day before, like that, we can't get it in there. I'm like, I know you can because I did.
Right.
It's possible,
He drove his truck and got the tile. I don't know if Emmett helped you or not.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. Anyways, and so the two of them were able to unload, about 16 boxes of tile already. So we had 16 boxes delivered, and these two guys could not. They would not. Yeah, they were not going to bring it to the house.
They would not deliver it.
Every excuse, though, like, we're secondhand or
we're third party.
We're
we don't work for this company. What if we slip and fall? It's a liability for us.
My concrete,
it's too heavy for us to carry
yes.
it. Can you put it in the bucket of the track hoe right there?
So anyways, they get on the phone with their boss, and then their boss calls John, and then they want to talk to me, and I'm like, look, these are not that heavy. I think they were bound together, like two boxes together, and I said, all you need to do is go and cut those boxes and just take it one by one, because I think whatever kind of like little dolly or whatever that they were planning on using, they couldn't use because it was so muddy. Okay, well then you got to have a plan B. And I had like tried to work with them and like, oh, well, you can pull over here in the grass and unload. Didn't want to do that. And then so you and I are like back and forth talking to their
away
boss.
from the job site. Yeah, get me on the phone with whoever. And then the guy finally just hung up on me, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, just ridiculous, y'all. And this is like a pretty big company. Anyways, long story short, our concrete guy was there. And I get back in the car and I'm fixing to leave because whatever, it ain't on me. Like, I need those materials, but at the end of the day, I can't make them bring that tile.
Just like a student at a school, you can't make them do something. You have to, same deal.
And my back's hurting, so I can't help them. I look up, y'all, my concrete guy that was there pouring my porches and getting the gravel laid for the driveway. He's over there helping them. Him and his two guys are actually helping the other two people
unload the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is the delivery guy had already come to me and said, do you care if we put this tile in your concrete guy's bucket tractor? What do you call it? Like your
Mini X
in the bucket, and if he could put the tile there and then bring it to the house. And that's not my employee. The concrete guy, he's not my employee.
And we're not talking about a long winding driveway. We're talking about 40 feet.
Right.
Literally 40 feet from the road is the garage entrance.
Right. And so at that point I was like, you know what? I said, that's up to him, whatever he wants to do. He's not my employee, but if he chooses to do that, just don't break it. Y'all go for it. And I was fixing to leave, and then I had to get on video because I could not believe my eyes. He's over there helping the concrete guy.
Shout out to Keenum, Chris
Yep,
Keenum.
that's right.
He's one of the good ones. He doesn't have
right.
He
He's
doesn't
gonna
have
show
all
up
these stories.
and do what he's supposed to. And that's basically, when you build a house, you really need to screen contractors and get references and things like that, because if you do this long enough, you're going to hear some of these excuses that we have talked about today.
You might have a guy
jail, court.
You might have a guy do drugs in a porta potty and cut holes in it.
Yeah.
You could have that.
Yeah.
Hope you don't, but you could.
But we've had that before.
You might get in a fight.
Now wait a second. Let's pause on that one. So as you heard, there was a guy, one of our job sites one time, using a porta potty, and we noticed that the holes were cut in the porta potty. Come to find out, we researched and tried to get down to the bottom of it. Not our employee, a contractor. Actually, he was employed by another company, a reputable company that we had hired. Okay, so this reputable company had hired this other guy. So a lot of times you may hire a particular company and you're not hiring them. You're not background checking their entire staff. So just be aware. You need to be on the job site and make sure who they're
things
hiring.
happen too where people hire new people and they don't even know.
Right. And so it wasn't their fault either, but this particular person that worked for this particular company was on some kind of drug of some sort. And so went to the porta potty, and when he used the drugs, he became paranoid and
felt like he was trapped inside the porta potty or whatever.
So he cut holes in this.
Cut like viewfinder holes where he could see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
you might actually, other than have that happen, you might get into a huge blowout argument with a carpet guy in the middle of the street.
Mm-hmm. On his birthday.
On his birthday. That's right. So, that guy.
Yeah, what happened there?
So there's red clay and mud all in the road, right? And
so what? Wait. So this guy is delivering carpet.
He's installing carpet.
Mm-hmm. Carpet. We've been waiting on it. It's on a Sunday. Mm-hmm. I don't even really go back there. And I know what's in the road. Like there's red clay and gravel and all this. And apparently the guy takes the carpet off of his van and unrolls it.
To cut it, rolls it out in the middle of the road on all this red clay.
Street.
Yeah. So So I had to get on to him, and then he got mad. He was like, "Man, it's my birthday, man." I'm like, "Oh, what is
And I think he quit and drove off.
He did leave. He got mad and left. So I mean, all kinds of crazy.
So then
things
we had to
happen.
call the business, and like we had to kind of like, what is it?
Because I like them, you don't want to.
Exactly.
You don't want to like cut ties with them.
And that's not our. Again, that's not our employee. We went to a business, and the people that they sent out, did this. You know, so there's so many moving parts to building a home, and unless unless these people are your employees, there's not a whole lot of you can sift through them and background check and all this, but at the same time, you can't hold their hand, and you can't. You need to move your star.
Go move your clothespin.
Go move your
on the box
clothespin.
truck.
Yes, because you used drugs in the bathroom,
That's
or
right.
you didn't show up like
There's
you
no
were
principal.
supposed to.
We're the principal, right?
So when choosing a home builder or home builders, you need to really make sure, what's your plan of action when using contractors?
Well, one of the main reasons I would recommend hiring a home builder is because, number one, that we've been through all this stuff, so we
Right.
know who not to hire. Number two, we've seen it all, right? So you go, okay, I know how to deal with this. I know what to do here. Just don't fret.
And then some people
you don't have to deal with that.
Right.
You as the consumer, as the customer, the client, you don't have to deal with that. You got me in place. I'm the guy that deals with all the crazy.
Right.
And that's my job.
And part of that is just, showing up and checking behind, because you don't want anybody using drugs on the job site. That's your property.
You got to do what Barney Fife says, nip it in the bud. When you find out somebody's drinking or
right, because that's
somebody's doing something like that, you got to say,
dangerous equipment,
"You're gone."
and people could get hurt and stuff like that, and you don't want them anywhere near any of your property.
Yep.
And so that's another.
Keep an eye on everything.
Keep an eye on them. Looking through though, here's my thing though that's always kind of crazy. I know that I'm at a job site if I get out of my car and I look down and there are eaten, or I don't know what you would say, chicken wing bones on the the road, and just kind of littered throughout. That's when I know I'm on a job site.
That's right.
Something got done today,
Yeah, somebody ate their lunch here.
Because I don't know, contractors love chicken wings. I don't know why. But
Chicken wing bones.
Yes.
Yeah, which is not a big deal on new
no,
construction.
it's not a big deal.
But now we used to be in the
for whatever
remodeling
reason-
game, and it was somebody else's house, and it would be chicken wing bones just thrown out in their yard. It was like, hey,
nope, you can't do that.
you can't do that.
Right,
so.
because animals and dogs and I don't know.
Well, it's just trashy looking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, for whatever reason, put your chicken wing garbage in the trash.
That's right.
But at the end of the day, though, we don't deal with a lot of crazy contractors. We've, in the past,
Over the years, you just pile up a bunch of stories like that, right? And that's
Right.
that's kind of the way that goes. So hopefully this has been at least entertaining for you to watch, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.
Thanks for listening to the House Guy and Home Girl podcast, your #1 source for all things home. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast and check out our YouTube page for video content from the show.